when 8-year-old Liam suddenly refused to get on the school bus. His mother, Sarah, thought it was just another childhood phase. But what began as a few skipped rides turned into a daily panic attack. For weeks, he stayed silent, avoiding the yellow bus like it carried monsters. So one morning, Sarah followed him. What she discovered that day would unravel a secret so dark, it would make national headlines. Liam was a bright, imaginative boy who lived with his single mother, Sarah, in a quiet suburb of Indiana. He loved school, especially science class and drawing. Every morning, he would run to the school bus, waving goodbye as Sarah watched from the porch. Sarah worked long hours as a nurse at the local hospital. Their lives were simple, filled with bedtime stories and pancake sundaes. To her, their neighborhood was the safest place in the world. Until it wasn't. One Monday morning, Liam stood at the end of the driveway, staring at the approaching bus. When it pulled up, he shook his head, backed away, and ran inside. Sarah was confused. He said nothing. The next day, the same thing happened. And again. For 3 weeks. When she asked him why, he said, "I don't like the bus anymore." That was it. No more explanation. She spoke to his teacher, his friends, even the school office. Everything seemed fine. And Mr. Peters, the bus driver? Everyone liked him. He'd driven kids for over 20 years. A friendly face with a kind smile. But Sarah couldn't shake the feeling that something was wrong. Then, Sarah began noticing things. Liam started wetting the bed again. He had nightmares, sometimes sleepwalking. One night, he scribbled a drawing with dark crayon strokes. It showed a man holding something behind his back while kids sat on a bus. Sarah asked who it was. Liam shrugged. Just a dream. She installed a child tracker on his backpack without telling him. That's when she saw it. Liam was walking 3 blocks out of the way to avoid the bus route entirely. He'd rather take a longer, more exhausting path than see that bus. That's when she decided she had to follow him. One misty morning, Sarah dressed early, left the house before Liam, and waited behind a row of trees near the school route. She watched as Liam left home, walking quickly with his head down. The school bus rolled into view, slowing to a stop near the corner. Mr. Peters stepped out briefly, adjusting his coat. Then she saw him drop something from his bag. A small device, almost like a keychain, but with a lens. At that moment, a janitor from the nearby middle school, who was smoking by the fence, noticed her watching. He looked around, walked over, and whispered, "You're not the first parent to follow that bus." Sarah's heart froze. She went straight to the police, showing them the drawing, the GPS logs, and everything she saw. At first, they were skeptical, but her conviction made them listen. Detectives quietly launched an investigation. What they found horrified them. Inside Mr. Peters' personal vehicle and locker, they found multiple hidden cameras. The devices were disguised as pens, toys, and even parts of the bus interior. He'd been secretly recording children for over a decade. And worse, he was already a registered sex offender in another state, but had changed his name legally after serving time. The bus company, desperate for drivers, never completed a full background check. Parents were stunned. Outrage swept across the school district. Mr. Peters was arrested and sentenced to 18 years in federal prison. The bus company issued a public apology and updated its hiring policies after a massive lawsuit from affected families. Liam began therapy and slowly began healing. He never rode a bus again, but he smiled more. Drew happier pictures. Sarah, heartbroken but proud, started a neighborhood safety group. She speaks at local schools about trusting your gut and listening when a child says no. Because sometimes, fear isn't just fear. Sometimes, it's a warning. And in Liam's case, it was the cry that saved not just himself, but dozens of others.